Hello. Uh, let's start this video with this picture we designed. There we should maybe see down here something that's like a landscape, something that's imprinted on that, but it rather really looks down here like vanishing, right? At the bottom. Looks like there's nothing. The rest really fairly is obvious. It associates at least at best spokenly with the drawings, if you want to call it that way, to something that is of something that's imprinted on a landscape. Now, this here. That's an animal face, eh? Something like a ferret woven. Okay, so let's start with a quote. It's not a quote, of course. It's his best rhyme. Sainted willow winterstorm faces tongue that's small. In my sorrow, any strength, so lay, salt. Chew. Now, that it sounded weird, but let's look at this question that we try to present calmly. Basic questions for this video. What is the way? What is of good? And one would not get to arriving. Now, if this has a true value, this here, a true value, not a true value, meaning it always holds true. If this question is answered with no, that, or better said, something that has a truth to it, then these other basic questions, simply explained, suddenly have always one or not. And then would any can force be? So, implications. At first, show in the camera something there is of us, something like a face. Let's assume it's always unimaginable, but sometimes it's possible if you certainly work with some idea to make that possible. Therefore, you would need to do something. But let's assume that is not of relevance, and it always is irrelevant to do this anyhow. Anyway, I turn off this idea. So this is us. So, notion. Back to topic. So, any philosophy deriving meaning maybe is of such variety that causing or correlating from it is at least impossible. There would Kevin mean Kevin. Horizon. Observe. Or maybe. Maybe. Meaning something that causes a that should be driven, constructed, construct, or concept, meaning any philosophy deriving meaning, correlating from it, meaning constructing or causing it, always includes new philosophy to be derived from it, or better said, philosophy derived from it. Or any new concept derived from it to be necessary. At best. Syntax would be a concept of meaning, not logic. So, for that then, if we look around us in the world, what value does a number have? And is it always true that before we think about anything of the world, anything around our surroundings, anything of ourselves, and also if a way needs to be of know or view, to be chosen, is a number in the world, or better said, anything that accumulates to something, like something that gives a picture later on at best, of such an idea that it at least arrives way later, first at syntax. And thus syntax, if not a concept of logic, and number having such a value in the world that it is not even for orientation, but rather is in meaning. Or it's varying. The contemplating of these concepts, or concepts at all, meaning or concept. So if you look at the animal face, right? It can be any animal face. It's an animal face. It's abstract. That doesn't need to be anything special. And in the landscape down there, that's just some imprint. Here we might see something like a figure. Meaning, give me a second. Here, there. There might be a figure, or might be not. But thus, if meaning derives its cause from any hypothesis to evaluation, it can samely arrives like the picture at the blacked out animal face, always correlating from at least all the hypotheses that we just put up, but not this year, meaning deriving its cause from any hypothesis towards evaluation. Therefore, dangerous to have known concept, or better said, dangerous to have known instinct. That's what the blacked out animal face is supposed to somehow represent at best, spokenly. Now, because of could equals sort of any, but as well same reason to alternative. If that is what the question, what is a should always be answered, then does a number in the world always represent something that doesn't represent anything at all? Meaning, can a number in the world give such obsolete idea that it would always let a person arrive at not even formulating a thought while walking, and for that is rather of such an idea that it is veiling something, and thus a number in the world contextualizes not, but rather is of idealizing something without even geographical value. It passed. Meaning, therefore, thus, for long that arriving is planned of, does in fact inevitably give always at least paradoxical value to force B. Meaning, if would any can force B, and for as thus any for long does in fact inevitably give always at least a paradoxical value to force B, then if arriving is planned of, and the way needs to be know of you to be at least chosen, a number represents nothing much, but somehow is like the blacked out animal face at best, spokenly, interpreted always as something that is then of God, meaning